Hey guys, so due to high demand of people asking me how I made my labels for my organization, here's a quick tutorial of how I made these waterproof labels from scratch. I'm going to walk through with you step by step from designing to printing. Before we start, here's what you need. A PDF of label designs, an inkjet printer. I recommend you have an inkjet printer as they support adhesive paper better. And sticky papers. I've tried a few different adhesive sticky papers and this one is the most waterproof one I've used. Laminating sheets, scissor, craft knife, or paper cutter. Anything for cutting labels. I am going to put all the links down below, so check them out if you want to use the same materials I use for my labels. Disclaimer, I've tried these labels as waterproof or manual hand wash, but they're not dishwasher friendly. So let's get started. You should make sure you have all your containers ready and measure the container to see what size you need to design in. Once you're done with measurements, now we're going to move on to the designing part. If you don't want to design everything from scratch, you can check out my Etsy store where I have designed everything already. And if you have purchased the labels from my store, please skip this designing part. I use Figma for designing labels. If you don't have it, it's free to download, or you can still run it on your browser. Okay, let's say you have Figma opened. You want to create a new file. Now, you're in an empty canvas, and let's create a paper-size artboard. Press F and look at the right panel. You're going to see different sizes for your artboard. I'm going to select A4 because that's the sticky paper that I got. So now that your artboard is ready, we need to figure out how many pixels are used to convert from millimeters of your label. This is the aspect ratio we are going to use for your labels. 595 multiplied by your measurement divided by 210, which is the pixel amount in millimeters. Here is an example. Let's say the height is 50 millimeters. 50 multiplied by 595 divided by 210, that gets your 141 pixels. After this, you can get your label measurements in pixels. Create another frame based on the calculation in the paper artboard. Let's get creative here. So for example, for my labels, I use the name, capacity in millimeters, and the weight in ounces. Use whichever font you like, or whatever information you feel is informative for your labels. I use some unnecessary information only for visual aesthetics, like this. Once your designs are done, duplicate the frame for other labels if you want to use the same designs. Once your labels are ready to be printed, select the artboard on the left panel and go to the right panel and export the artboard as a PDF file. Now, we're going to print the labels. Find a PDF file and open it to print it. This is A4, so make sure your printer settings are set to A4 sizing. Now, put a sticky paper sheet into your printer and press print. Make sure you let the paper rest for 10 minutes to allow the ink to dry. From here, we're going to laminate our labels. To make them more waterproof, peel the laminate off and make sure the sticky side is facing up. Now place your label print on top of the laminate and use your credit card to smooth out any air bubbles that may be present. Now for the most time-consuming part, cutting your labels. Use your scissors or whatever method you have for cutting the labels. And now your labels are ready.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep. Been laying awake thinking of all the ways you were too nice to me. And today I wanna run away, 'cause you're making me say